Well, today's format, to renew mine, is going to be a little bit different. Instead of the formal presentation we normally have, well, formal, quote, quote, formal, having fun. Pastor Tommy McDearest is not here, but I am. Steve, the producer, as well as Tanya Dinkle, owner and coach of Life in Action, are here. And we were thinking about doing something really fun that we don't normally do and just throw in a bonus episode. So here we are today doing that without Tommy McDearest.
Yes, just having some fun, a little off script, I think, today, too. So now that we are officially in the holiday season, no matter what holiday you celebrate this season, you are likely looking for things to do. So we thought that it might be fun to give some inspiration. So we came up with a quick list of just 10 things that you can do this holiday season for little to no money. Now, this does tie back to an earlier episode called Saving Santa. So if you want to go back and listen to that is on the podcast channel. So this can just kind of supplement that if you want to go back and listen. So and thinking too, coming from a single lifestyle for many years, I am sensitive to those who may not have a family or close relatives or groups of people that they are connected with. So any of these things that we're going to talk about today can be done solo or as part of a family or a bigger group. So totally flexible, however you want to do those.
Yeah, totally flexible, because you're right. There's so many things to do at Christmas, and if you don't have already pre-scheduled family events that you're always doing, this is a great list to start getting involved in the community some other place.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's jump in, because it is the 1st of December. So, all right. So the first thing that you can do for little or no money is go to a parade. Most cities and towns around the country have some sort of winter or holiday themed parade, and those are free to attend. If you want to grab a chair and a blanket, put some hot chocolate in a thermos, and you can just go and sit and watch and listen and have a great time. Hand out candy or other flyers, and even invitations to other activities too around town.
Absolutely. I know coming around here, it's going to be really cold for this parade here in our town in Blacksburg. So you're going to have to dress really warm. But you also might find some other events going on in that area. You might find some people singing. I know churches around here, especially our church, might be offering that hot chocolate. You don't have to bring your own, or even hot hands or other things. So it's a great opportunity. Yeah,
great call out too, because I know specifically with Blacksburg, I was reading earlier, our Blacksburg Children's Chorale has an event going on that night. We're doing the town Christmas tree lighting. So lots of activities that could be happening within towns close to you as well. So check that out. Number 2 is a photo shoot. Might sound a little intimidating, but really this can be pretty easy. If you just want to capture a moment or something for your holiday card, you can just grab some quick shots on your cell phone. Most people have the cell phone or the camera capability on cell phones these days, and we use that as a camera all the time anyway. So you can mark those just quick snapshots or Christmas pictures off your list. If you want a nature picture to go to a local park, you can hit a hiking trail. We have a ton of those in this area, so you can get some great shots with some landscape in the background. If you want something a little more festive, while you're downtown checking out the parade, check out some of the Christmas decorations, get some more festive backdrops in your pictures that way.
Absolutely. Give you some inspiration. I know, when you get outside to take pictures, you can get some other inspirational ideas and inspirational thoughts. Being outdoors is a great way to refurbish your spirit.
Absolutely.
Especially even in the wintertime. I mean, it's a great time to get out,
Absolutely.
even if it's cold.
And if you are by yourself, you can take a tripod or a little portable something to put your phone on. And if you don't want to do that traditional selfie, arms stretched out type of pose. So number 3, holiday movie nights at home. The older I get, the more I love to be at home, especially when it is as cold as it is here in Blacksburg right now. So, here's the thing. You are already paying for some sort of TV service, probably. You're paying for cable. You're paying for a streaming service. Why not watch something that's already on there? They've got hundreds of channels available to you. So check those out. And then you can pull popcorn that you probably already have a bag of in the pantry to be able to pop. And you've got a snack for your movie. So
absolutely. I've already started my movie watching. I don't know if you have, but I already did.
We have, actually. We have. So I think we've got a rather long list that we will be able to tackle over the next few days.
Some of which I can't find on the streaming service without having to pay for. Kind of irritates me a little bit because I think there ought to be more available, but I'll deal with it.
We have had that recently. In fact, for some reason this year, I don't know why, I wanted to watch The Great Pumpkin, which I have not wanted to watch since I was a kid, but we actually rented to watch that this year because it was on one service that we didn't have.
Yep.
So, all right. Number 4, holiday themed meals at home. So, obviously going out to eat can be rather expensive, and especially if you're picking a major holiday to go out and eat, the prices tend to get sometimes unattainable for some family budgets. So this is an easy way that you can incorporate holidays into your regular meal planning for the week. So when you're planning out your meals for the week and then planning your grocery shopping according to your grocery budget, this is a great way to just incorporate some festivity in there. If you want some ideas on that, Pinterest is a great stop for me. I love getting recipe ideas, and also just regular social media. There's a ton of stuff out there now on Facebook and Instagram, and I think even TikTok. You can find all kinds of festive ideas.
Any place. I mean, if you're, I'm a foodie. I love cooking, but I also love eating. But I love looking at the recipes from the websites and other things that have holiday themed baking, and there's some phenomenal ideas that you can find.
And think too, some recipes may have unique ingredients that you're either not sure exactly what they are. I've run across that, or you may not be able to source locally depending on where you are around the world. So Google can help you figure out what alternative items would be, ingredients would be that you could use for those.
True. We run across that as well because we have some old family recipes. We love baking, and you can't find ingredients where we are, so I have to go out to get them other places.
Yes, planning ahead. Yes. All right. Number 5, a holiday-themed walk or run. And as I was putting this on the list, I did chuckle to myself because I'm sure there are people listening rolling their eyes and going, you've got to be kidding me.
Tanya.
Oh, Tanya. But hey, first of all, exercise is great. This is a great time of year to get out and get moving with caution, of course. I mean, if you have conditions, you want to make sure that you're taking care of yourself. But getting up and moving does just make you feel better, and it gets the blood pumping. It helps keep you warmer. But there are a ton of things that you can engage in from an activity perspective that are holiday themed. So we just had the turkey trot here in Blacksburg for Thanksgiving. There's a Christmas Day, I think, run that is happening. These are short 5K runs. Those happen all around, I know all around the U.S. and I'm sure all around the world. You can also create your own if you wanted to do that. I mean, most of the time I do these things for the t-shirts because I just like the cool t-shirts.
Right.
You need a reason, right? If you want to create your own, whether it's maybe with a neighborhood group or a friend group or just on your own, you just want to create your own shirt. You can order that online. That's super easy these days. You don't have to go through a print shop like you used to do.
Don't have to at all. Ago. This also works for people who like doing things on wheels because there are bike events like this as well.
Idea,
so
yes.
There are ways to get outside and enjoy the season.
Absolutely. Temperature where appropriate as well. So, all right, number 6. And Steve and I were talking before we started recording. I thought about Steve and his wife when I was putting this on the list too. A neighborhood cookie exchange or potluck. So if you are fortunate enough to live in a neighborhood or in a community that has some tight-knit groups, you may want to pull that group together and do just a cookie exchange. And the thing with cookie exchanges is you're not only sharing the cookies, you are sharing the recipes as well so that other people can duplicate those if you want. If you want to do something a little more formal, not quite as sweet and sugary as cookies, you could do a potluck if you wanted to do that as well. And everybody brings something in again, share the recipes. The trick here from a budgetary perspective is you get to control what you are creating and what you're contributing, right? So you can control the portions, you can control the type of food, how rich it is, and also the ingredients and the cost there. So definitely some control there.
It's cookies are a great way to get things rolling in your neighborhood or to friends and family because it's a real heartfelt opportunity that you're doing yourself to bake these things and to package them and give them to people. It's really good.
Yeah. And again, I mean, you can decide how far you want to go into that. Like, are we talking about a sugar cookie that is from a roll which is totally fine,
right.
With some sprinkles added on? Or are you doing homemade cookies with 6 different shades of royal icing? Because we're talking about some pretty significant cost differences there.
Yes.
So, all right. So number 7, high school or church plays and musicals. This is one of my husband and I's favorite things to do at the holidays is just to go around and see some of the local talent. It's a great way to give back to your your local arts community. But this is also just a fun way to kind of get out and do something different. Sometimes there could be a cost here. But usually the cost is pretty minimal, maybe $10 or $20 per person. And if there is no formal cost, they may ask for donations, and you can decide how much you are comfortable from your budget contributing to that. But great way to give back to the community, support your local arts, and just have some fun.
I think people are going to, if you're not already doing this or haven't done this in a long time because you don't have grandkids or family, you're going to be surprised at the talent you have in your community. Vocalists, instrumentalists, dancers, et cetera, people who create the props. You're going to find some phenomenal things in your community.
Yep, absolutely. All right, number 8, go see Christmas lights. This sounds so basic, and most people would think, well, I figured that would be number 1. But I still remember, I have vivid memories of as a kid going to see Christmas lights, and really outside of the cost of fuel to get there, this is a pretty low cost to no cost event. And some communities really have a lot of very detailed and extensive Christmas lights that you can go look at. I know Richmond has the tacky tour that you can go do, which is very formal. There's even a tacky run. So they're combining a couple of things here that we're talking about. But yeah, just going to see Christmas lights. And again, really low cost. You could give a donation to some of those organizations if you would like to. But an opportunity to just create some fun memories. And if it's going to be a bit of a trip or you want to take some snacks, again, kind of like the parade, throw some snacks in your bag, put some hot chocolate in the thermos, and go watch some Christmas lights.
Yeah, there's ways to find these too. I mean, fortunately, we have in our area, in a town real close to us, Roanoke, there's some websites that actually have community light information. So they'll have a map of where you can drive to see all these lights if you don't have a formal drive-through available in your place.
Yeah, they absolutely do. And definitely check those out, because my husband and I ran across one totally randomly a couple of years ago, and it's become one of our favorites over behind Virginia Western. And I'll kind of leave it at that. So there's lots in Roanoke that you can do if you're in this area. All right, number 9, make holiday cookies. We've talked about the cookie exchange, but I guess you got to make the cookies before you do that, right? Again, you can control how much you want to do this. And this can be, again, a solo activity. It can be an activity with kids. My husband and I are super excited now that we're empty nesters, just doing it ourselves this year, which I think you and your wife
We've been
probably
doing
do
that
yours.
for a long time. After kids, we decided that's what we're going to do, is make Christmas cookies. Besides the like 5 or 6 traditional family ones, we've thrown in a bunch of other ones. So don't anybody have to follow our lead, but we make 15 different types of cookies to give out. So you don't have to go that deep. You can do 1 or 2, but we love doing baking cookies during this time.
And for clarity for our listeners, so you guys do a drive-through event.
We do a drive-through event a couple Saturdays into December and invite family and friends. Or we've had people just drive by during that night doing the Christmas light looking, and we'll give them cookies. We have enough cookies to share, so we'll do it. So.
That's awesome. So again, you can control your budget by deciding what recipes you want to make, how many different types of cookies. I don't know that I'm ambitious enough to make 15 different types. That sounds like a lot of washing dishes.
Not many. It's a lot of dough, a lot of butter.
A lot of dough in a lot of ways, right? But you can absolutely control how much this costs you, just based on the type of cookies and how many you want to make and how far you want to extend that. All right, and then number 10, here we are. Game or puzzle night. So I know my family loves board games. My mother-in-law, and I've got I guess an aunt-in-law, my husband's aunt, love puzzles. Nice. So, we do like to sit down and do those. Obviously this time of year you may do a holiday theme. Doesn't have to be. It could be something that's on your shelf. It could be a game or a puzzle that you and your family or you individually just love to do. But pulling that out, if you want something new, go to a thrift store.
Right.
They've got tons of those things that you can go take advantage of. Or if you just want to get a good book, just sit down and read a good Christmas story. Those are kind of fun too.
Absolutely. Yeah. Especially there's some really good Christmas themed books out there to keep you in the spirit.
Absolutely. All right. So those are our 10. So I do have a surprise. I've got a bonus.
I like this bonus. Yeah. It's one that I wouldn't have initially grasped for, but it hits the spirit of the season.
Yeah. And the bonus is volunteer. There's a huge need this time of year and really, truly throughout the year for folks to volunteer at places like soup kitchens and shelters and food pantries. And those are just a few examples. There are endless needs and opportunities for people to plug in and get engaged. Holidays tend to bring out more volunteers. People want to come out and they want to give. They want to bring their families and start to instill a sense of volunteerism and giving back, especially parents to their kids. So you may find, unfortunately, this time of year, if this is when you're wanting to plug in, you may hear, well, we have enough volunteers right now. We don't need, keep checking, look other places. Any nonprofit organization will be more than happy to get a phone call from you. This is a great place to start. And don't just don't stop here. Start here, but don't stop. Just continue to plug in throughout the year. Again, ongoing need. There's just not enough volunteers in our world.
Absolutely not enough.
Yeah. All right. So 10 free to almost no cost ideas of how you can get into the spirit and spend some time with the holidays, plus a bonus.
Right.
Which is awesome. All right. Well, that's our list, but we'd love to hear about yours. So what are some things that you like to do around the holidays, and how do you keep an eye on the cost as you're being festive? We would love to hear from you. So send us your traditions at renewedminds@churchonmain.church. I did drop the list, the 10 plus the bonus, into the members group at lifeinactioncoaching.com. So you can head there and get the full list if you want that, just an easy printout, or if you want to send us an email and we'll get a copy of it to you.
Excellent.
So if this episode has been helpful, please share it with others. And if you like and subscribe to the podcast, it helps us get the message out so that others can hear it as well. Thanks so much for joining us, Steve. Thanks for joining me today.
It was fun. So, we won't tell Tommy he needed it anymore, right? We could do it anytime without him, right?
Yeah, we can handle it.
We could do it. He may need to keep us on track on the theological things, maybe.
We'll let him know.
We'll work on it, right?
All right, guys. Well, thanks so much for your time today. We hope you make it a great day and approach every day with a renewed mind.
Happy holidays.
Hopefully this brings a renewed perspective to the challenges and opportunities you're facing today. What steps are you going to be taking to show love and grace to everyone? If you have any questions or comments about our podcast, please send an email to renewedminds@churchonmain.church. Thanks for taking time out of your day to join us. Listen next week for the next Renewed Minds.